Salutare, bun venit pe canalul Escu Show, eu sunt Escu și astăzi vreau să vă prezint ceva inedit. Este Dingles Fairground Museum and Rides. Este undeva în Lifton, la granița dintre Cornwall și Devon. Este practic un muzeu și un parc de distracții, 2 în 1, totul acoperit, totul este indoors, pe o rază de vreo 6 hectare sau ceva de genul ăsta, cu parcare, cu tot ce trebuie și practic vedem un pic de istorie. O să vă arăt despre ce este vorba, sper să vă placă și dacă vă face plăcere în mod deosebit, cred că și ei vă așteaptă aici să vizitați. Hai să vă arăt! What is this?
This is the Fairground Heritage Trust Museum.
Right.
And basically in here is housed the National Fairground collection. It contains rides dating back, well, we've got the Gallopers, which dates back 101 years.
Wow.
And we've also got a couple of rides 83 years old in there.
Right. How do you come across them? How do you buy them? How do you purchase them?
Some of the stuff is owned by the trust, and some stuff is on loan, like this living wagon here.
Right.
Other stuff in there, other rides are on loan to us, but we maintain it. And others have been donated by showman families who don't travel anymore or don't use those machines anymore.
What kind of people were the people who used to travel on these fairgrounds?
Well, since working here, I've learned that they were very, very hard-working people. It was a very hard life. They had to be hard. A lot of heavy work involved, but very shrewd businessmen as well. So, like any other business, you've got to try and make money to feed the family and exist basically. So it was a hard life on the road when they're building up, pulling down. As today, they still have to build up, move on, pay a lot of rent for the ground, fuel costs are going up, so it's still a hard life.
So it's not only business, it's manual labour as well.
It's a lot of nowadays, probably less.
Because they've got a lot of mystery aura around them, they're very
they
sort of
started
private.
off with fairs many years ago, as in fairs, market fairs, and one thing led to another, and then maybe they had a magic show there or some animals there, and it sort of progressed from there really, and then obviously steam came in and rides came in, so it sort of progressed on from there really.
How many people do you visit this place?
I don't know off the top of my head. This year we've obviously our first year of opening after COVID. We were shut down for two and a bit years, and unfortunately some of the staff, including myself, was made redundant. But we've opened this year, and I understand we're about 15% down on our footfall from last year. I don't know the top figures off the top of my head. I'm not in that position.
But we're talking several thousand people a year
yes,
anyway.
Yeah.
It's a popular place.
It is a popular place.
Although it's not very well known, and it's a shame.
The trouble is with us, we are in the middle of nowhere. We're only a mile off the A30, which isn't very far. But to get here...
Very accessible.
It's still accessible to get here, but it is one of those... I'm also a volunteer at a railway back up near Swindon, and the amount of people that live in Swindon have lived there for 40 odd years and still don't know that the railway's on their doorstep. It's very much like here. Locals say, I never knew that was here, or I've never been here. So, yeah.
I basically just found out about this place just Googling what can you do with 3 kids in Devon.
Yeah, well, it's more popular, obviously, this time of year. The children mostly back at school.
Yeah.
So we're in our quiet period now. We've had a busy summer.
I bet you have. Yeah.
We operate slightly different this year than what we have done in the past. We're open slightly less days, and we have a booking system. Sessions in the morning and session in the afternoon, which seems to be very popular with the public. And also popular with us as well. I think
the prices are quite accessible. Quite, they're fairly priced. The tickets, I mean.
Yeah,
and for a family to pay £45 with tokens included.
Yeah.
To see all this and to have a go on the rides, I think it's.
We like to think it's
fair game.
It's not cheap, but it's there again. It's not very expensive. It can be. Obviously, if the more rides you want to go on, you have to pay for more tokens. But you can also do a gift aid. Scheme
come back as many times as we like.
You fill out the form, you hand the form in, you go on the database, and you basically that you can come any time within the year of filling the form out. Any time within the year, and you have free entry. All you have to do is then pay for
the tokens,
which is it's good for the client, and it's also good for us as well because of the gift aid. It's the tax relief of it.
What are these? What are these wagons?
These here are living wagons. This is what the showmen would have lived in whilst they were travelling around. A lot of showmen would have parked up for the winter, gone into their winter quarters, but whilst they're on the road travelling around from town to town, they would have had these living wagons.
They look very shiny, very expensive.
This one here is is on loan from the Nobles family, which is they're a showman family still going. This is on a long-term
Any connection to the supercar, the Noble?
I'm not sure. I'm not too.
Might
don't
they
know all
be
my history?
Might they be related,
they
or
be.
might it be the connection there?
I'm not too sure.
The Noble supercar, you know what I'm on about.
Yeah. No, I don't know. But this was, I believe, this was renovated. When I say recently, I'm probably talking 10, 15 odd years ago. But it's not like 30 odd years ago it's renovated. I don't think. It's immaculate. It really is. We do look after it. We do polish it over the winter, give it a good coat, ready for the season, and keep it dust-free.
It does look amazing, yeah.
If you want to look inside?
If you don't mind, I didn't dare ask you, but thank you.
So in here they would have housed all the family.
They were short. They weren't tall.
they would have. There is a story that I can't remember if it's this one or the other one, that they would have. I think they had 12 children
in here.
And then what they would have done was they would have, when it came to bedtime, they would have put them everywhere. There's a bedroom at that end, 2 single beds, and there's a double bedroom at that end there.
I'll have a look. I'll go and have a look.
They wouldn't have got all 12 in here.
No, I don't think you can. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a little bit deeper in there. Yeah, I can see an adult. I can see myself having a kip in here, but not a very comfortable night's sleep, I must say. But it's very luxurious.
It is the craft.
Very, very good quality materials everywhere.
Oh. Yeah, it's very yes, very ornate as well.
Very sturdy.
What they would have done is the children, when they couldn't fit in here, the table would probably have come down. They probably have made a bed up here. They would have put them in what we call the belly boxes, and it's the boxes underneath.
Right.
And if you look out, you can see one there.
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Yeah,
the belly box. So they would have had the children sleeping in there as well.
Basically under
underneath the actual living wagon. That's the living room.
I must say, this is what, 50-something years old?
This is 19. I think this is 1930s. Yeah,
1930. So it's 80, 90 years old.
I could be wrong there.
And this looks like it could be made like 20 years ago, tops. Everything looks amazing. Double bed, I presume.
Rather small double bed.
Yeah, well, they probably weren't very tall themselves. It's amazingly.
On the road for 6 months of the year.
Yeah, amazingly good quality. But they wouldn't have lived here full time, would they? They would have had a house of some sort.
They would have been in their winter quarters, and they would have carried on living here in these, as opposed to travelling.
Wow.
But you can see all the inlays in there. So it's quite the craftsmanship and the cut glass windows as well.
Yeah.
Yes. But like I said, having worked here for about nearly 5 years now, I've learned that the showmen are very shrewd businessmen, very hard, like I said, hard working. But and I've met a couple of showmen now, and absolutely gems they are, extremely nice gentlemen. And it is a pleasure to meet them. As a kid, I used to love the fair. They
know how to behave themselves in public and make an impression, I presume.
Yeah, well, they present their rides clean and tidy. They present all their lorries and everything clean and tidy, because it's all a show. It's all about
image. Yeah, it's all about making a good impression.
Yeah, So.
And impressing in the same time, and yes. Just leaving that lasting impression, so people come back and see them next year.
Yeah, that's right. And that's when you operate a ride, you try and give someone that thrill. The rides are different nowadays. You'll see when you go next door and see the rides in there. There's 2 rides: the Moon Rocket, which is the only one in the world, as far as we know, working still. There's no others working. That was a thrill ride of the day. So the rides nowadays just want to turn you inside out and upside down all at the same time. But the idea is you give someone a thrill for 20-30 seconds, and then they want to come back for more, Yeah. And that's why when we operate the rides, we just bring the speed up just for about 20 seconds, just to get that thrill of going, and then bring it back down again. And the idea is to get people to come back for more, to enjoy the rides. So
this is basically a 2-in-1 place, the way I see it. You come in to see a bit of history and see what people of that era lived like and were like? Because obviously you look around and see these things, and you realize what kind of person would have bought things like this on one hand, and on the other hand you go just next door and have a go on the rides and spend some money and have a good time. And
and you see in there, I mean, a lot of these rides in here are what they call build-up rides, proper build-up rides, a big jigsaw. A lot of rides nowadays are on the back of Arctics, quite long Arctics, and a lot of them are all folded up. So they're spending less time on the ground, so there's less ground rent. They're having to pay maybe less people because they don't need that many people to build the ride up. It's all to do with money. It's all for them to make a good
efficiency.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and now I shall go and have a go on the rides.
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ok, și acum că am văzut ce exponate sunt, ce se întâmplă pe aici, mergem în partea cealaltă, unde sunt, practic, the rides, parcul de distracții în sine. Iar la intrare, de costul biletului de intrare, primești și un număr de tokene, de jetoane. Asta dacă alegi opțiunea cu jetoane, bineînțeles. Mergem să vedem ce se întâmplă acolo, mergem să ne distrăm, să ne dăm și noi în toate chestiile alea și sper să pot să fac niște poze și să filmez, să vedeți și voi ce anume se petrece acolo. Vă mulțumesc tare mult pentru sprijin, mulțumesc că ați urmărit materialul, am fost Escu, la Escu Show Podcast, sănătate și numai bine, pa, pa! Când ne gândim la faptul că fiecare dintre aceste exponate au fost la un moment dat parte dintr-un parc de distracții, atâta istorie, atâtea amintiri, familii întregi, comunități întregi de oameni care practic așa și-au câștigat existența. Chiar discutam cu domnii de la recepții și care îmi spuneau că managerul, proprietarul acestui muzeu face parte din familia Rowland, care este practic familia cu cel mai mare parc de distracții mobil din Marea Britanie. Și toate chestiile astea pe care le vedeți aici au fost recondiționate de către artiști, de către oameni specializați în așa ceva, cu niște costuri absolut enorme. Pentru că, de exemplu, ceea ce vedeți aici, toată chestia asta se desface în bucăți minuscule, se încarcă într-un camion și merge dintr-un oraș în altul câte un sezon. Uite, acolo, de exemplu, se poate vedea motorul. Motor cu aburi. Chestia asta are aproape 100 de ani. Da. Dodgems. Mașinuțile încă funcționează. Și încă au DJ-ul acolo în cabina lui, operatorul. Da, este fascinant, este ceva deosebit. Acum, nu știu dacă 45 de pounds este o sumă pe care oricine o consideră că se merită să fie cheltuită pentru a vizita locul ăsta, dar din punctul meu de vedere vezi ceva ce nu ai ocazia să vezi oricând și toată ziua. Ok, o să încetez să filmez acum. Vreau să mă duc să petrec timp cu familia. Sper că v-a plăcut și dacă v-a plăcut știți ce să faceți cu butoanele. Mulțumesc frumos!